Shavua Tov, almost. Welcome. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot of things that are coming together this evening, and we're really excited. So we've been looking for an opportunity to share Havdalah with you, so we'll make Havdalah. Of course, this is the month of Adar with great simcha, with great joy, with Purim in it. And with that, we wanted to celebrate Purim and Adar by having a magic show for you. So we've got a lot of fun to be had tonight. So buckle up, and I hope you're all wearing your PJs like we are. We're all in our PJs, and let's sing some songs. We're all here together, so let's join in together with Psalm 133, our Hine Matov. Join, sing along from home. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevel, Achayot, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Achim, Achim, Gam Yachad. Oh, how good, oh, how good, and oh, how pleasant when we come together. Oh, how good, and oh, how pleasant when we come together as one. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Welcome as we move from the light and lightness of Shabbat to Havdalah, where we re-enter our week together. We set the intention of having a wonderful week, and let's make that transition with our Ma'ariv Aravim. The sun is surely sinking down, and the moon is slowly rising. So this old world must still be spinning around, and I still love you. Choshech v'choshech mipnei or, golel or, mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. Baruch atah Adonai, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim. Won't be long before another day. We're gonna have a good time, and no one's gonna take the time away. You can stay as long as you'd like. Our Ma'ariv is part of a series of prayers that includes and is named Shema. So let's join together with our Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai malchuto le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod malchuto le'olam va'ed. We're here together and we have an opportunity to ask for safety, to ask for peace, and we do that with Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, as I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. So it's an opportunity to be together, to share Havdalah. Havdalah is something that can happen in our homes. It doesn't have to be in a sanctuary. And here we are, we're all in our homes, we're in our cozy clothes, the clothes that are on us, that help us transition from the special time of Shabbat into this great week ahead of us, where we'll be celebrating Purim. And we get to do that through a practice. And if you don't have all of those pieces for the practice of Havdalah at home, that's okay, because we have them here. So Jana, before you light that, will you just first hold up the Kiddush cup? You'll see this one for Borei Pri Hagafen. And then you'll see the spices for Misanim. And then Ha'esh is our candle. And when we get to the candle, I invite you to hold your fingernails up and let the light that's in the candle reflect in yourself. So join us for Havdalah. Before we go into the Havdalah prayer that you know, there's another Havdalah prayer that we do, and I was contemplating whether or not to do that tonight. And then I read the first couple lines in English, and I thought how perfectly awesome to transition into the week that has Purim in it with this line. Behold the God who gives me triumph. I am confident, unafraid, for Adonai is my strength and my might. The main character, our hero in the story of Purim, is none other than Esther. And I am sure there must have been that sense of doubt when Esther had to have the courage to be our hero. And I think that whether it was this prayer specifically or one like that, I'm sure that Esther was asking God for help with confidence to be unafraid. So we're going to say this prayer, and you can listen and just absorb it. הנה אל ישועתי אפתח ולא אפחד, כי עוזי וזמרת יה אדוני והיא לי לישועה. ושאבתם מים בששון ממענה הישועה. לאדוני הישועה על עמך ברכתך סלה. אדוני צבאות עמנו, משגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלה. אדוני צבאות אשרי אדם בוטח בה. אדוני הושיח המלך יעננו ביום קוראנו. ליהודים הייתה אורה בשמחה בששון ויקר כן תהיה לנו. כוס ישועה אשא ובשם אדוני אקרא. And you can say Amen.
מבדיל בין קודש לכל, חטאותינו ימחול, זרענו וכספנו ירבה כחול, וככוכבים בלילה. Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera Be'amenu, Yahamo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
Shavua Tov, everybody. I wish everybody a very joyful week. We're going to have opportunities to be with each other again this week. So I hope you know we're going to be having our Purim spiel on Thursday evening. So join us for that at 6 o'clock. Right where you are right now is where you'll need to be for Purim. One of the most exciting things, well, of any of our Jewish holidays or festivals is, of course, the food. And Purim really, really is all about the food, is about the sweets of the Hamantash. And I remember last year, one of the last things that we experienced together as a group was sharing in Rana Davis's Hamantashen, and they were so yummy and so tasty, and that sweetness is what I have taken all year with me all year in the absence of being together. So let's sing about Hamantashen.
I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet. Again, I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet. Do we put them on our nose? No, no, no. Do we put them on our toes? No, no, no. Do we put them on our clothes? No, no, no. Everybody knows that we eat them. Everybody knows that we eat them. I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet. Again, I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet. Do we put them on our knees? No, no, no. Do we put them on a tree? No, no, no. Do we feed them to a bee? No, no, no. Everybody knows that we eat them. Everybody knows that we eat them. I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet. Again, I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet. Do we put them on our bed? No way. No, no, no. Do we put them on our head? No, no, no. Do we schlep them on a sled? No, no, no. Everybody knows that we eat them. Everybody knows that we eat. Last time. I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet. Last time. I like Hamantashen, they're so good for Nashen. I like Hamantashen, yummy, delicious, and sweet.
I hope you have Hamantashen coming your way. Now I'm wanting Hamantashen.
Yeah.
Before we say goodbye to you and hand this over to our in-congregation prestidigitator, That's where presto comes from. Did you know that abracadabra is Jewish?
No.
Well, it is. It's Hebrew. I don't know what it's Hebrew for, but I'm pretty sure abracadabra is Hebrew. So if you know, put it in the comments section. Of course, put it in the comments section. Stand with your tail so grand. Shushan is a place where it all began. Hidden miracle. One man, second in command, slayed all the Jews with his wicked plan. A scheme so miserable. He chose the day for the disaster. It's ironic what came after. He didn't know a girl named Esther would turn it upside down. So raise your glass if you can see the hidden meaning. It's right in front of you, and we will never be anything but proud to tell the story. B'nach Hofachu. Oh, won't you come on and raise your glass? So come on and raise your glass. So raise your glass if you can see the hidden meaning. It's right in front of you. Yeah, we will never be anything but proud to tell the story. B'nach Hofachu. Oh, won't you come on and raise your glass? So come on and raise your glass. And with that, it is time to hand this over to our wonderful, wonderful magician, Brett Kim Senor. Brett, are you with us? Come on up, join us.
Hey, great to see you.
It's
Hello,
great to see
everybody.
We are so excited. Thank you so much for doing this. This is a hobby and a talent, one of Brett's many hobbies and talents, and we're so lucky that he was willing to do this. So Brett, thank you. I also want to give a shout out to our religious school committee and also Sisterhood, without whom we couldn't have done this, with the prize packs and Brett joining us. So thank you to all those parties involved. If you picked up your party pack, bring it over now. And if you didn't, it's going to be a great show either way. So Brett, take it away.
Thanks, Seth. Chag Sameach, everybody. And again, I'm Brett Senor. I'm the lesser known half of Sarah Kim Senor, previously Wild, and me. I have a stage name. Every magician has a stage name. It's Seth Kellum. At any rate, so thought maybe we would just orient you a little bit. You see my face here, but you also see this mat here, and you see this deck of cards on the mat. Now, we just want you to be able to see everything. So most of the stuff's going to be happening right here on this mat. Now, you may recall that some of you who picked up your packets, you should have found a deck of cards, and you should have found some rubber bands. Now, the reason for those is because at the end of this, I'm going to be teaching you two tricks, one card trick and one rubber band trick. And these aren't just little throwaway tricks. These are mighty good tricks. I've actually even fooled some magicians in the past with particularly the rubber band effect. But I thought I would start off just by showing you this deck of cards. And this deck of cards is actually pretty special to me. What makes it so special? Well, it turns out that this is what got me into magic, this deck of cards. So I thought I would show it to you. I will open it up and I will dump out the cards, and you can see here that I have these red cards. And again, these are very, very special. I'm going to just go ahead and close this up, and we'll just deal with these cards here. So what makes these cards so special? Well, it's actually not so much the deck. There's something unique about this that you don't normally find in normal decks, and I found this to be very unusual when I first picked this up. What's so unusual about it, you can kind of see here. I'm going to turn this around so you can see there's a joker. Well, that's not so unusual. And there's another joker. Well, that's also not so unusual. But what about this? There's a third joker. What? You don't normally find 3 jokers in a deck. And so certainly you don't normally find a 4th joker in the deck. So why are there so many jokers in this deck? That's a great question. Well, let's take a look. All right, so I'm going to show you these jokers because it turns out that it's the jokers that are really, really unique here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll put these aside because I just need the jokers at this point. Now watch, you saw me strip out those jokers from the deck, but if I just give them a little bit of a shake here, all right, you can see the jokers here, but watch. One turns itself over. If I just give it another shake, a second one turns itself over. So I don't really even have to move my hands so much for you to see that these jokers keep flipping over. And I was fascinated by that as a kid. But what happened next blew me away. So if I just, well, that's interesting. How about that? Did you just see that? Wow, wait a second here. That was an ace. Let's try this again. What does that mean? Well, if I shake it up, you see now all of them are face down. But you want to see something really unusual about those jokers? You saw one became an ace. Well, actually, they all became aces. So that's what got me started in Magic, was this very deck. Now, I'm going to show you that we have red decks that are magical, but we also have blue decks too. All right? And I'm going to show you this blue deck, but I have to tell you something. Decks don't like to be blue. Did you know that? As a matter of fact, they will do anything they can to turn red. Well, as long as you don't shake the box too hard or shake the cards too hard, you can keep them blue, and that's how I keep them blue. But I just wanted to show you this. All right, so if I take these cards like this, okay, you can see that they are indeed blue. This is a blue deck. You can kind of see that the rest of the cards look just like a red deck, right? Except the backs are blue. So I'm only going to use actually one of these cards. Why don't we go with the 3? And what I'll do is I'm going to put these in like this. And then what I'll do is I'm going to have my assistant come over here just to maybe pick out some random cards here, okay? So assistant, why don't you just go ahead and can you just touch some cards as they go by?
You can see them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want that ace? We'll do that one.
Yeah. And oh wait.
Oh.
The 2 of spades.
2 of spades.
And the 6 of clubs.
6 of clubs. Okay. So Kim just picked 3 cards in addition to that 3 of hearts. Well, you see that we still haven't really done anything to change the backs on these, right? So I'm going to put these aside here, and I just want to show you something that's rather unique. Now, you may recall that I said as long as you don't shake the deck too hard, it will stay blue. But watch. If I shake the deck up, I just want you to see what happens here. Wait a second. What just happened to that 3 of hearts? It just turned red. However, I shook the whole deck, and the whole deck is red. So you got to watch this stuff. These decks love to turn away from that blue. They hate Elvis Presley with his blue suede shoes and blue Christmas. Now, what about that 3 of hearts? Did it really turn blue or red? It really turned red. But not only that, not only did all these cards turn red, these cards over here turned red as well. So that's just a little warning. Don't shake your cards too hard if they're blue. They will turn red. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you something a little different here, and I'm going to actually ask Kim to come back over again. So for this, I'll need these cards once again, and I'll put these down here. And notice that these are called bicycle backs, okay? And I want you to just see that these also, they kind of match here, okay? So I want to just introduce you to some of my assistants here. That's the Queen of Hearts. That's the Queen of Spades. That's Queen of Diamonds. You can probably guess what's coming. The Queen of Clubs. Now, in just a moment here, I'm going to give these a mix, okay? So we'll mix these up. And we have this situation. Maybe I'll give them another little mix here. There we go. Maybe turn these over this way. Okay, so we now have our 4 queens, each one representing, one represents clubs, one represents hearts, one represents spades, and one represents diamonds. So at this point, Kim is going to take a card from this deck. I'm going to give her a free selection, and I can actually see the card you choose. So just go ahead and slide one out.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so let's see what card she picked. So I'll put this up. So she picked the 8 of clubs. Can everybody see that 8 of clubs? So now we're going to see if Kim can sort out which one of these queens is the club. But so I'm going to have you do, Kim, is just go ahead and take with your right hand, just touch any card that you want. All right, so she chose this card. Let's see how she did, okay? So we have the rest of these cards here. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to check the card she didn't pick. She didn't pick a spade. She got that right. She didn't pick the diamond. She got that one right too. She didn't pick... Look at that. She didn't pick the heart. That means that she got the club right.
Hey.
She got it right. Let's watch and see here. If I just do this...
It's little.
She got it right big time.
That's crazy.
All right, thank you, Kim.
Thanks.
All right, actually, I may still use you for this next one too, okay?
Sure.
So what I'm going to do here is, actually, Kim's going to do a little artwork here in just a second.
Uh-oh.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I want to show you this deck of cards, okay? Look at that. All of those 4 jokers came back to the deck again. Interesting. I'll put those aside. All right. So Kim, using this deck and using these pens, any one you want, let's pick any card and I can see it again that doesn't have a lot of markings on it.
All right. How about this one?
Great. Okay. So what I'm going to have Kim do is I'm going to actually have her draw a pet on there. Oh. So go ahead, do your best with drawing a pet. It doesn't have to be all that fancy.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Wait. Okay. All right. I can do this.
Yes, you can.
That goes there, and that has some legs and a belly and some, oh dear. Okay. A tail and some ear. And that little nose here.
That is pretty darn good.
Thanks.
All right, so all we need to do is kind of sort out what is that animal.
It's actually a dog, even though it looks like a ferret.
Okay, so we'll let it dry a little bit here. And Kim, does your dog have a name?
Ellie.
It has a name. Its name is Ellie. So Ellie knows Kim very well. Ellie doesn't know me, but I want you to see what happens when I put Ellie into this deck, okay? I'm going to push it in slowly. Now watch this. If I call Ellie, if I say, Ellie, here Ellie, you see, Ellie doesn't know me. Ellie knows Kim. So can you whistle? All right, call Ellie.
Ellie!
And... It knows her. It knows her. That's the weird thing about this. All right. So wait, I want to show you again. That was not a fluke, okay? So here's Ellie. Watch Ellie go into the deck. Ellie goes deep into the deck. All right. Call Ellie again.
Here, girl.
Okay, go ahead. And Ellie comes to the top of the deck again. It's just the weirdest thing like that. All right, so now some people think that Ellie doesn't really go into the deck. All right, I want to show you that Ellie does in fact go into the deck. Do you see Ellie's tail there? Okay. All right. So was Ellie taken out for a walk so she doesn't do any business here in the middle of the trick?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so I want you to watch Ellie go in. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Ellie go even deeper into the deck. And why don't you go ahead and push Ellie in. Now, that's so deep in the deck, I think what we'll do is just deal with half the deck. Okay? So now, Kim, go ahead and call Ellie. Very good. And Kelly comes... Ellie comes to the top of the deck.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
Disguised as the 9 of club. Oh, wait a second. Well, so if you think about it, this is the top of the bottom half of the deck.
Right.
The top of the deck is over there. So why don't you check over there? So you see that Ellie still made it to the top of the deck. So now I want you to watch one last time here, okay? I'm going to bring this over just a little closer. All right. So we do this. Ellie goes into the deck like that. Now, here's what's going to happen is I want you to just see that Ellie is not right there, but I want you to notice something. Do you hear something? Watch. Ellie. Is this folded card Ellie? This folded card is indeed Ellie. Thank you, Ellie, and thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much. All right. Let's go ahead and turn away from pure card stuff. And I think I'm going to introduce some coin things here for you to see. So I think maybe I still will use some cards, though, for this. We'll do a combination. All right. So these, I don't know if you have seen these before. I know you adults have. This is a 50-cent piece. Okay. Some people call it a Kennedy half. That's President Kennedy on there. Now, these are all just regular 50-cent pieces. Maybe some of your parents have these. And I just want you to watch what happens here. For this, I'm just going to use 4 cards. Now, there's something really interesting about these, that when you put cards on top of them, it kind of motivates these coins. Watch. Okay? So each one gets a coin, gets a card covering it. Okay? So if we come over here, you see that those coins haven't changed position yet, right? But watch. It jumped. Watch this one. Ready? It hasn't jumped yet, but it jumps now. Now the last one is usually the hardest, so I have to kind of warm up my hands a bit. And this one you may even hear when it goes. 1, 2, 3. And they all collect right there. So that is one way of doing this. There's actually a second way that we can make this happen as well. Okay? And that, I'm going to put these over here for right now. And I want to introduce to you something that looks very, very strange. Okay? This little lace cover here is going to help us out. Okay? Now, you see that it's not much of a cover though, right? You can still see the card. You can see it if I flip it this way. Right? Okay, if I go this way here, you can see my hand under there. You can see my hand going this way. So again, not much of a cover, right? Well, what about if I put a coin under there? Can you still see that? I think you can. If I flip it over, you can still see that. Well, let's go ahead and work on this and see what we can do with this, all right? So the goal is to make these coins appear under that card, okay? So watch. I want you to just kind of see, you can see the coin there, you can see the card here. I'll hold up that card. All right, now watch. All right, hasn't jumped yet, but I want you to keep your eye on this. So if I slowly, you tell me if I'm going too fast. Is that too fast? Okay, watch. Take the coin, and if I just go like this, it should have appeared under the coin, under the card. So that's number 1. Do you think we could do that again? Let's try it again. All right. So same thing. You see there, you see here's the card. Okay? Hasn't gone yet, but I want you to keep a close eye on this coin here. So now I'm going to cover it up and I'm going to very, very slowly take it out. And watch my hand. Ready? Boom. And the second one appears under the card. So for the third one, let's try something a little unique here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and pin down these edges, all right, so that I can't really get in so well. And so what we'll do is I'm going to take this coin, all right, I want you to be able to see it here, okay? And now watch. If I just do this, Okay, if I just try and rub through the netting, you see that it comes through and there's no hole there. That's how the coin gets over there. It escapes through the netting. Okay? The very last one, I think, is going to be pretty magical, and I want you to watch this. This one, sometimes I've been accused of using camera tricks, and I can assure you there's no camera tricks. What you see is exactly how it looks on this video here. So you see that the coin is there, right? You see that it's not here, right? So watch carefully. Now watch this. If I just put that down and I'm going to move this over here, I'm going to cover it back up. Again, nothing going on here. Now watch how, you may actually even hear it as it goes under that card. 1, 2, 3. It vanishes and it's under the card. There's all 4 coins underneath that card. So we did it. All right. Any questions? Oh, wait, you can't. All right. We'll save them. If you have questions, you write them in, okay? So let's go ahead. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, before I actually do the educational tricks, I'm going to show you a really interesting story. I'm going to tell you a story with cards. So I need to find the right cards here. Let's see, I have 1, 2, and I need 2 more for this story. The story has some interesting characteristics to it. It's got a little bit of intrigue to it. It's got some romance. It's got a little bit of violence, and I apologize in advance, but it has a very, very happy ending, and I think you'll really like this. All right, so story with 4 cards. Once upon a time, there was a very handsome dark-haired king. Now, he was married to a beautiful dark-haired queen. Well, his twin brother was married to her twin sister. Well, one day they decided to come across the ocean to, of all places, Asheville, North Carolina, and they went to Asheville's finest restaurant, Asheville Pizza and Brewing Company. And when they got there, the line was out the door. It was, to make matters worse, not only were they way back in line, it was raining torrentially outside. It was a terrible thunderstorm. Well, the management at Asheville Pizza and Brewing Company looked and they saw there was royalty in their parking lot and said, "We can't have that. That's bad for business." So they brought them in and they said, "We are so sorry for making you wait. We'll give you a couple choices here. Either you can go over to the bar and drink all the sweet tea that you want, or you can take a tour of the upstairs of Asheville Pizza and Brewing Company." And I don't know if any of you have taken that tour of the upstairs. It's opulent. It's gorgeous. Well, the guys decided to go over and have sweet tea, and the women decided that they were going to go ahead and take that tour. So they went upstairs. Well, what happened with the husbands? Well, the first husband went over to and was drinking sweet tea when all of a sudden this very attractive red-headed lady comes up and starts talking with him. Now his twin brother finds himself standing next to her twin sister. Well, they started laughing and having a great conversation, having a great time, when all of a sudden the tour came to an end and the wives came back downstairs and spied these very attractive red-headed ladies talking to their husbands, and they said, "Hey, we can't have that." So the first wife went storming over to the redhead talking to her husband and said, "Lady, if you value your teeth, you will step away from my husband." The second wife said, "If you don't want to have a sweet tea glass lodged in your esophagus, redhead, you will step away from my husband." Now, I don't know if you've ever yelled at a redhead, but they do not take kindly to that. And there was yelling, there was screaming, there were cards being thrown around. I don't know if you were there that day. It was kind of an embarrassment. But at any rate, finally, the first wife said, "You know, I have had enough. She dragged her husband and said, I don't care that we haven't had Asheville's finest pizza. We're out of here. The second one said, hey, we are right behind you. And she dragged her husband. So I can sense that some of you are really concerned. Well, what about the redheads? What happened with them? And here's where the happy ending comes in. So what I want you to know is the first redhead was drinking her sweet tea when all of a sudden a redheaded guy named Jack shows up and starts talking with her. Well, her twin sister finds herself talking to his twin brother. Well, this time there were no husbands or wives that are in the picture, and they actually ended up dating, and they ended up actually getting married, and they had 4 of the cutest little red-headed boys that you would ever want to see. And the most amazing thing of all is the whole story is told with one card. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and turn to the tricks that you're going to learn. Okay? So first of all, you'll take out your decks, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change out. This is called a professional close-up mat. I would imagine most of you don't have these, so I'm going to move this out of the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a towel. Okay? What you need is a soft surface. If you're doing card magic, coin magic, it's good to just have a soft surface. Maybe double up that towel like I have here. And when you do that, if you have a deck with you, you may find that you can do nice little spreads of cards like this. You can do really pretty things with it. So you can do spreads like this. You can actually do this kind of a thing too. So there's all sorts of nice things you can do, and it makes it very easy to pick things up. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to show you a trick. And I'm going to have Kim go ahead and shuffle these cards up.
All right.
Okay. Kim is a professional card player, so you will notice her fancy card shuffling technique. It's how we pay for our house. All right. Very good. So, do you want? I'll give them even more of a shuffle. Up to you. Did you want to cut the deck or?
Sure.
Okay. Now, so you can then just. I'll even ask her. Did you want to shuffle it anymore? Or are you good?
I think one more.
One more shuffle. Okay. We want to make sure these cards are good and mixed. That's excellent. Okay. So now, Kim, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a spread here like this, and you go ahead and you pull any card out. I'm going to turn my head so I can't see it. You can show everybody that's at home, but I'm not going to look. You get a free choice. Tell me when you've pulled it out.
Okay.
You've pulled it out. Now I'm going to do this without looking. I'm going to put them back together again.
Okay.
And what I'm going to have you do is you showed it to everybody?
Yep.
Put it on top of the deck.
Okay.
And now what I'm going to do without looking is I'm going to do what's called a cut of the deck, and then I want you to put those cards on top of it so it's lost in the deck. You have no idea where it is. So I wasn't even looking, okay? Do you want to cut them again?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Great. Go ahead. You can. All right, so she can cut them as many times as she wants, as a matter of fact. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. I just want you to make sure that your card is in there. That's interesting. Oh, that's okay. Did you see your card in there? Here, wait. Don't say anything until we get to the end. Did you see it?
Wait.
Okay, I'll go a little bit more slowly. Don't say.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
I saw it. Yep.
All right. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to start putting some cards down like this. Okay? And I'm just going to make a couple rows of them like this. All right. I'll maybe go up here. Okay. I have a feeling. All right. Kim?
Yeah.
I'm going to bet you this 50-cent piece.
Ooh, pretty.
That the next card that I turn over is going to be your card.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to take that bet, or do you feel like you're going to lose that bet?
So if it's not my card, then I get the money, right?
That is correct.
I'm gonna take that bet.
You're going to take that bet? All right. So on the count of 3, the next card I turn over is going to be her card. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I wanted the money.
All right. So how did I know that was her card? I'm about to share that with you. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to tell you what's going on in my head. Okay. So we'll take this back. And so Kim shuffles up the cards. You can have somebody shuffle them, and I'll just go ahead and do this. All right.
Okay.
And then when she hands them back, I'm going to show you kind of an exposed view of what I'm doing. I ask her, do you want to shuffle these cards anymore? What I'm doing is I'm looking at the bottom card. Okay. I am memorizing the bottom card, whatever it is. It happens to be a 2 of hearts right now. The only thing that's going through my head right now is I'm talking with her and asking her if she wants to shuffle is remember the bottom card's the 2 of hearts. Remember the bottom card's the 2 of hearts, or whatever that card is. So then she takes any card out. And this time, remember, normally I will not be looking at it, but for these purposes, I'm going to, okay? So you see she picked the Jack of Spades, but remember, I have my back turned. I don't see it. The next thing I do is I tell her to put it on top, all right? And what's going through my head? The bottom card's the 2 of hearts. The bottom card's the 2 of hearts. And now I say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck. You go ahead and put those other cards on top. Where's the 2 of hearts? The 2 of hearts is right on top of her card. Okay? So she can do it again. And she can do it again. And what's going to happen is that 2 of hearts is going to stay on top of her card. And so when I go through and I say, make sure that your card's in here still, but don't say anything till the end, because now you see, here's the 2 of hearts, and that's the top of the deck. So her card's going to always be to the right of that card that was the bottom card. So now I know her card's the Jack of Spades. And so one of the things that I do is I take a bunch of cards from here and I put them here so that when I flip them all over and I start doing this kind of stuff, it doesn't take forever to get to her Jack of Spades. But you'll see once again that 2 of hearts is going to show up first. I know the next card's hers. I maybe put 1 or 2 cards there, do it here, and then just say, oh, wait, I have a feeling, and I stop. And that's where I do, you can say, hey, I'll bet you $1. You can pull out $1 or something like that and put it down. You say, the next card that I turn over, but really move this card as if that's going to be the card you're going to turn over. And you say, I'll bet you this 50-cent piece or that $1 that the next card I turn over is going to be yours. And they think you're going to turn this card over. 1, 2, 3, and you immediately turn over their card, shocks them, and there you have it. So you can actually use that technique when you are using the bottom card as a marker. That's called a key card, and there's about 1,000 magic tricks that work by that key card method. So give that a try. Practice it a few times before you show it to anybody. Okay? So let's go ahead and finish up with this particular trick that involves just 2 regular rubber bands. And you should have 2 rubber bands with you. Okay? So this one is actually kind of a contest. All right? And I'm going to have Kim come over for the contest. All right? So this sounds very silly, but watch how this turns out. Kim.
Yes.
If I put this rubber band on my fingers like that, and I can double it up if it's too big, doesn't matter. How long do you think it would take me to get this off of here and onto these fingers? With it doubled up even?
Maybe a little more than a second.
Okay, so you think it would take maybe a second. When it's doubled up, it might take a little longer than that?
Maybe 2 seconds.
All right, well, all right, so let's try it. You time me, okay?
Okay.
Just say ready, set, go, and then you count.
Okay, ready, set, go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
So 2 seconds it took for that to happen. All right, Kim's going to try, and she's going to see if she can do it faster than I did. Okay?
Oh, boy.
All right, so you ready? On your marks, get set, go. 1 Mississippi. Oh, she did it even faster. All right.
Like lightning.
So let's try something else. Let's put it back on here because now I'm going to try and beat her record. Okay? I am not only going to put it back on there, I am going to lock my fingers in with this rubber band. Okay? So now, Kim, how long do you think it would take me to get this with the rubber band on off of here and up to here through that rubber band?
Well, first you'd have to go get some scissors or pull that rubber band off. But you mean if you don't move this one?
Yeah.
You would never get that.
I would
there.
never get it onto these fingers. Now, obviously, I can't pull there, and it's definitely not going to come up here, right? So I want to tell you that in the time it takes her to snap her fingers, it's going to jump here. So ready? You do 1, 2, 3, snap.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
See that? It jumped.
That's cool.
So, how in the world do you make a rubber band jump from those fingers to these fingers? All right, I'm going to teach you that now. All right, so just for teaching purposes, I'm not going to double it up. But if you have one that's too loose, double it, okay? So if I start here, okay, and the goal is to get them up here. Now, when I put this on, I really want to lock my fingers in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a series of moves like this where I'm rotating my hands, okay? Watch. So if I do this and I do a twist here and I twist my fingers in each time, okay? You see how each finger is really locked in there. That's really on there. That's not an illusion. It's really there. Here comes the trick part, okay? So now I want to show that this can't get through that rubber band. I pull against it, pulling down, okay? Now, if I pull up this way, it's going to give away how the trick is done. So pull down, because the trick is it's going to go here. It pivots there, okay? So watch. So now, here's how you make it happen. You say, you close your hand and you say, okay, I can't get it this way. Now, notice that I have 2 or 3 fingers in here. I'm making a big space there because when I go, I can't get it here, I can't get it here. I put all of my fingers through. So now you see how they're all through there? Don't let it slide off the end there. That's going to be a part that you'll have to practice. And I say, well, obviously I can't get it here. And then when you pull it back down again, it looks like the whole rubber band is just around those 2 fingers when in fact it's not. It's actually around all 4 of them, but you don't want to show that part. So you keep that down. You say, I can't get it here. It's not going to come off there, but now you're all set to go. And so if I do this slowly, it actually looks not as good as when I do it fast, but if I just uncurl my fingers, it will jump, okay? But watch when I do it fast. All right, so it starts here. I say, can't get it here, can't get it there. Remember, don't pull up there. Can't get it there. And then when I fold through and I put all my fingers through and I pull it there, say can't get it there, can't get it there. And then I just snap. That doesn't really hurt all that much when you do that. Watch when you do it fast. 1, 2, 3, and it jumps. Isn't that cool? Love that trick. This is the one that I have actually fooled magicians with. So think about that. And with that, that ends our magic show, and thanks so much for coming. Again, I'm Seth Kellum, and we'll see you Thursday night for the Purim spiel. Thank you for your time.